Tomorrow, Chuck will embark on what has become a yearly trip for him. This trip, by all accounts, is something you probably couldn't pay most people to do. He expects that when you first hear about it, you'll probably be like most people and wish him luck, but hopes by the end that you'll understand why he goes. Please welcome Chuck Russell. Wish me luck.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, I'd ask you this morning to close your eyes and visualize this with me. You're outside, it's early morning, the sun's coming up, it's cool yet in the summer, you've got your morning cup of coffee, relaxed, it's nice out there. And then, listen up, everybody gather around. And all of a sudden you remember that you're about to get on a bus full of 8th grade boys and take an 8-hour trip. Well, actually, you're going with about 140 7th and 8th grade students on several buses. Waving goodbye as you pull away. The parents are thinking, I will miss my son or daughter, but more importantly, man, I wish those adults going with them a lucky week because I wouldn't do it. This will be me tomorrow morning. I will be, for the 4th year in a row, headed to Student Life Camp with 140 some odd students. There are 3 main parts that kind of compose the trip. The first is the trip up. Second, the days that you're there, and then the trip home. All very different elements. So let's start with the trip up there. We meet at the church at 5:30 in the morning. Now, it's summer. These are 7th and 8th graders. They're asleep at 5:30 in the morning. So I get up at 5:30 in the morning, so I'm awake, I'm bouncy, I'm genial, I got my coffee, I'm energetic. I'm clapping, let's go. And they're on the bus asleep. So it's a lot of fun. Halfway up there, stop for lunch, they get back off the bus, they grab some lunch, we invade a poor McDonald's and a KFC that are never happy to see 4 buses pull up, but that's what we do anyway. We call and warn them. So after lunch, they're awake, they got some food, they're starting to get a little unruly, but we've got 4 hours left on a bus. So you got some kids that are thinking, I'm going to mess with the adults, or some that are going to pull some pranks, or you got kids that are still sleeping and the Sharpies come out. So it's more like, you know, it's probably not as bad as a prison, but you know, you're more of a guard at that point, keeping them from hurting someone or doing something really serious. So you get there, trip's over, get your cabin, you get settled in. And you got 3 days of fun. The next morning, breakfast time. 6:30 a.m. I take some pleasure in rousting 8 kids out of the cabin at 6:30 in the morning going, get up, it's breakfast time! Again, most of them, I'm sleeping. So, a lot of kids skip breakfast that first day. After breakfast, we have a little quiet time. We gather in the worship hall, listen to a great motivational speaker, hear a band, get everybody charged up and ready to go. From there, it's outside for what we call rec time. Now, each day, rec time's a little different. The first day, you know, it's usually team building. Puzzles on the ground, getting each other through hula hoops, trust falls, you know, just to kind of get us closer together. But you've got the kids that are out there and they just want to make jokes or they just want to do funny stuff. And it's nice to see as each day progresses and you do rec time that they actually start to pay attention and they start to help and it becomes competitive and let's beat the other team. From there, lunch, they are quiet. You don't hear a word for an hour. They go through the line, they eat their food, they're hungry by then. We've been outside, we've been going. After lunch, we have free time. During free time, there's a couple different things you can do. You can go to the pool, or they have basketball courts, or you can just hang out with your friends. They have a cave there that I've been told is pretty intense. There's parts where you belly crawl through it, through water, and you shimmy along. Now, if you look at me, I'm not the thinnest, and I've been advised that I probably won't make it through, so I stay out of the cave. What do? I drive a boat. Throw some kids on a tube, and sling them around the lake. So we run in and out of the dock for a couple hours, grabbing tubes and throw them in the water. So to me, that's the best part of the day. After that, put the boats up, put the toys up, head to dinner. So again, they're quiet for an hour, they're eating. For camp food, it's surprisingly good. I got to give the folks there credit. After dinner, we head to evening worship. We do this every day. Again, our speaker comes out, talks for a little longer. You start to see some of this, you know, and you're nudging the kids. Come on, wake up! This is cool stuff. The band plays to get them pumped up, back excited, and somebody else talks, and you know, they just kind of get them to focus and think. And that's kind of hard at the end of the day for 7th and 8th graders, but it's not my challenge. At that point, I just keep them awake by elbowing them in the side. So after that, we have a little more group time. There's a little snack bar that they like to go to and hang out. And, you know, you've got the adventurous boys that are creeping over to talk to the girls from some other city or some other town. And you got the girls that are all huddled together, excited, looking around for what boy's going to come talk to me today. So you kind of got to watch them there. And then it's lights out, back in the room to sleep. So 3 days of that, and then the drive home. Man, I got to tell you, that's probably the hardest part, because you've been there for 3 days with them, you've got to know some of them, you've watched friends get closer, you've watched kids that probably wouldn't have talked to each other because they weren't the cool kid. One was the cool kid and one was not the cool kid, and now they're friends. You know, so it's an amazing transition to watch, and you realize that in 8 hours, you know, you may never see some of those kids again. So through those days, you watch amazing things happen. You know, it's a church camp, but whether you're a religious person or not, you got to appreciate that a couple hundred kids get together and appreciate that there's more to life than being rowdy and breaking rules. So that's why I go, and that's why I think rather than good luck, what fun, and I can't wait till next year every time I'm done. Thank you.